Today I'll be covering 3 of the greatest haters of all time in movies and TV. Instead of spreading love this Valentine's Day, we'll be spreading hate. Why? Because love is temporary and hate is forever. Hopefully I actually drop this on Valentine's Day, or else it's gonna be kinda awkward. Before I start with the list, let's give out an honorable mention. Eddie Brock from Spider-Man 3. Even before Venom took over, he hated Peter Parker so much, he went to church and prayed to Jesus Christ to kill him. He literally prayed on his downfall. He didn't pray for him not to succeed, he prayed to kill him. All because he stole his girl, even though she wanted Peter before he even made a move. Actually, understandable crash out. He really just like me. Now on to the real haters, the most vile characters I could think of. Number 3, Colonel H. Stinkmeaner. Now you might think a person that has no friends, no family, and losing his sight to cancer when he was only 15 years old and only being given 3 years to live would be sympathetic. No, he dedicated those years to spread misery and hate. And just despite the doctor, he kept living. He hates the sunshine. He hates rainbows. He even hates himself. He just like me, for real. He's racist, sexist, ableist, all the ists. He hates all humans. He's humanist. And when Granddad parked in his spot, he met another hater that day. And they had to fight. And he beat Granddad so bad that Granddad had to train and they organized a real fight. But he lost and died. He's just an old blind guy. He might be like very hateful, but like he's just an old blind nigga. But then he went to hell, obviously, and it supercharged him with all the hate in hell. He rose back up, more powerful than ever. He possessed Tom, the nicest guy you could think of. He turned him into a D1 hater. Even in death, he can't stop hating. And the only way he could be stopped is when he bonded with Uncle Ruckus over their shared hatred of black people. Nothing like hating on black people. Man, so inspirational. So yeah, all that over some little parking spot. But let's go to number 2. Now you might be wondering, bro, how are you ranking all this? Well, it's based on how successful they are, how far they're willing to go, and how much joy they feel seeing others suffer, and how dedicated they are to hating. Now, Stinkmeaner just tried to fight Granddad. He didn't do anything too petty. That's really not that petty compared to Eobard. Now, his origin story starts with him being born in the 25th century, with a normal, happy family. Now, Eobard idolized the Flash, thinking he could do no wrong. And he loved learning about the Speed Force. But that was illegal, and he wasn't supposed to do that. And his little brother catches him. So he decides to go back in time and delete his brother from the timeline. Then celebrates being an only child. This is the type of individual we are dealing with right now. Then he gets more time to study time. But he still can't tap into the Speed Force. And his parents were worried about him, saying that they were going to close the Flash Museum. So he kills his parents. But he still manages to get distracted. He falls in love with a girl, but she has a boyfriend. So what does he do? He kills him. But then after all that, she doesn't like him. So he goes back in time and gives her brain damage. Yeah, he's not good at love. Then he becomes the Flash of the 25th century. And he wants to be the only Flash. But he thinks about it, and if he kills Barry, there will be no Speed Force. And he won't exist. So if Barry doesn't exist, Eobard can't exist. He is a paradox. So yeah, he does the logical thing and tortures Barry for the rest of his life. So he kills his mom, frames his dad, and also just does lots of petty stuff just to annoy him, like pushing young Barry down the stairs, removing his childhood friend from the timeline, actually being the monster under his bed. You know, normal stuff. But the worst one of all, he used his super speed to jerk off Barry Allen.
Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend, and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch!
Okay, he didn't actually do that one, but it would be kind of funny if he did. But the main reason Reverse Flash isn't number 1 is that the comics have too many variation. It's not fair comparing him to any other medium. Those are all different moments in different storylines. He's kinda OP. Also, I had to deduct some points from him not wanting to kill himself. A true hater will stop at no cost to truly hate his enemy. And on top of that, he kinda failed. Barry always wins. So who's my number one pick? The villain of Oldboy. Now before I tell you about him, I'll be spoiling this movie heavily. You should genuinely watch this movie if you're a fan of elite hating. I'm not kidding, you will be disgusted. Alright, Oldboy starts with Desu being a drunk, needing his friend to bail him out. He talks to his wife and baby on the phone. It's his daughter's birthday. But then, he's kidnapped. He wakes up in a sealed hotel room, if you can call it that. He learns that his wife has been murdered, and he's being framed. Then he wonders who could have done this to him, but he can't figure it out. After 15 years of imprisonment, he is sedated and released. Now he has only one goal, to find who did this to him. But he meets a girl named Middu that takes care of him. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names. I'm really bad with names. Then he finds the building he was in, and doesn't find any answers, but he beats up a ton of dudes. Then Desu realizes he can't trust this girl, because why'd she let a stranger go to her place? But him and his friend find his captor, like the person who captured him. And he says it's all a game, and he needs to figure it out himself. And if he figures it out in 5 days, he'll kill himself. But if he doesn't, he'll kill every girl he loves till the day he dies. Then Desu tries to kill him, but he'll never know why he was captured. And 15 years of curiosity, it adds up.
And I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them niggas that mad?
Then he leaves trying to figure it out, and he gets distracted and gets freaky with his girl. No protection or anything. My boy's a professional raw dogger. Then he's sedated, and the guy is just creepy. He's just like there. He's always there. Later, he tells his friend he thinks it's Lee Yu-jin from his high school, and thinks his sister, Lee Suha, is connected. Then his friend describes her as a slut, and Yu-jin does not like that. He slits his throat right then and there. Then later in the movie, Desu finally figures it out. As a kid, he stayed after school and overheard a guy and a girl. He looked, it was Yu-jin getting freaky with his sister. Then Desu tells his friend what he saw, and the rumor spread, eventually leading to her killing herself. He feels like Desu is responsible for his sister's death, and that's the reason he imprisoned him. But that's not what makes Yu-jin the craziest hater ever. He reveals the twist. Desu kept asking why he was imprisoned, but not why he was released. 15 years is enough time for his daughter to grow up and be unrecognizable since she was 4. Yu-jin then hypnotized Desu and Middu to fall in love. Yes, he tricked him into falling in love with his own daughter. I told you it would be disgusting. This guy found a fate worse than death. And the whole time he's describing this, he has the biggest grin on his face. He loves this. Then Yu-jin kills himself because he completed his goal. He was done. The movie ends ambiguously. Desu gets the hypnotist to try and hypnotize him into forgetting the fact that Middu is his daughter. We don't know if it worked or not, but this is a different type of hate. He really made him understand his pain on a whole different level. This really is the sickest individual out there. I think I'm gonna end it there. Now, these are my favorite haters in TV and film and comic books. Is there anyone that you can think of that are worse than these guys? If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll do another one. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, or else I'll have a lifelong vendetta against you.